Yes Shop.
For everyday life.
I am really excited. I love showing you new things. New to New Zealand, this is the Smart Sharpener. The one sharpener that will adjust to any blade. The one sharpener that everybody needs. And if you want it, you've got it right here at Yes Shop. Look, it just makes sharpening blades and all sorts of things, anything that cuts, so much easier. And Shane from Smart Sharpener is with me. Shane, thank you so much for bringing this to New Zealand, for showing everybody how it works. Basically, to sharpen a knife the easy way, you use this. Can you show us how it works?
I can, Mike. If you've got a blunt knife in the kitchen and you're sick of trying to cut your vegetables, it's really simple. All other sharpeners, you're waving your blade around on a steel. Right. No one knows how to use a steel. No, you're
right. No one knows how to use that steel at all.
You're waving the blade, you're dragging it through, it's dangerous. So the Smart Sharpener makes it really safe. Right. Just put your blade down, the blade doesn't move. You just put it on top and just draw it 2 times. You can hear it working.
That easy. I like the fact it's nice and easy to use. So once you've sharpened, away you go.
That's sharp.
Oh, that is sharp, all right. Just about as sharp as you, my friend. Just about as sharp as you. Now, the Smart Sharpener, I didn't realise this, Shane, but the Smart Sharpener has some amazing technology in it, because I always thought, and you at home probably think this as well, one blade is just one blade. I didn't realise there were different angles, and you've got to be careful when you're sharpening, otherwise you could make your knife worse.
Yeah, every blade has got a different angle on it. Right. Some are thin for slicing, some are thicker for more of a chopping action. Right. Every other sharpener that you use is on a fixed angle, and it's going to grind your blade down to that fixed angle. So your delicate thin knives are going to be ground down to around 22 degrees. Your big fat chopping ones are going to be ground down to 22 degrees. They're going to damage your knife. So the Smart Sharpener has got an automatically adjusting mechanism in it. So no matter what your blade is, if it's a fat blade like this, you place it on top again, it'll just adjust to that angle of blade. Draw it again, it's going to sharpen at the exact same angle that it was manufactured at.
Right, so that is very clever, because people didn't know this, did they? No. You've got your Smart Sharpener doing all the work for you, haven't you?
Even your thin blades, for example, a fine delicate knife, same again, you just place it on top. It's going to adjust, automatically it's going to adjust to that blade's angle. Draw it a couple of times. It's going to keep it at the exact same angle that it was manufactured at, so it won't damage your blades.
So this sharpener has been designed for people like me that have absolutely no idea about the angles of my blades. Who knew that? Who knew there were different angles? If you're a fancy butcher, you might, but for most of us have no idea. And this machine will take all that guesswork out of it for you. It's that patented technology. And look, it looked really, really easy to operate as well. You weren't applying much pressure. Can I have a go?
Mike, I think even you might be able to sharpen with this. So
rightio.
Give it a go.
Okay, so you just take your knife, for safety reasons, you just put it down on the board.
The blade stays flat on the table.
Yep.
Now you're always pulling towards you, so...
And how do I know which end of the Smart Sharpener to use?
Well, we've got our little pictures here,
right?
So even you can follow this, Mike.
Yeah, sweet.
You've got your knife on the knife section.
Yep.
So you place that down on the knife.
Place it down here.
Yep, and just no pressure.
No pressure.
Just the weight of your hand, just gently run it across the blade, always pulling it.
Ooh, oh, I can hear it. I can hear it sharpening.
And that tungsten carbide blades has moulded to the shape of that knife, and it's sharpening at the exact right angle that it needs to be sharpened at.
Okay, cool. Well, now's the test, because something I do with tomatoes, Shane. Yeah, stand back.
Wash your fingers.
Oh, my goodness. Right, okay, that's made a huge difference. Look, and I can get them super thin. Look, I've never cut like this before in my life. Wow, okay. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Okay, cool, let's do some more chopping. Let's say, take a pumpkin.
Pumpkin, for example. My wife, for one, is always asking me to cut the pumpkin for her.
Yep. 10-year warranty, by the way.
So same thing again, we're going to sharpen this knife.
Right.
Pulling towards us.
Yep.
It'll mould to that shape of the blade.
Oh, listen to that, folks. New Zealand, that is the sound of everyone sharpening up.
Move your fingers.
Okay, I'm standing back.
And straight through pumpkin.
Wow. This pumpkin is a pain.
That gets me out of the kitchen.
Yeah, sweet. You can go back to watching some sport. Okay, so the Smart Sharpener for the first time in New Zealand. You can get it right now. Only $49. Now, if you want 2, and I suggest you get 2, because someone's going to pinch one, what you need to do is pay $73.50. That means you get the second one for half price. And for every purchase of the Smart Sharpener, you're also going to get this cool little fruit knife. So that's our little gift to you. Shane said, look, this is the first time we're showing this in New Zealand, so let's give them even more. Thank you, Shane, for that. You're a generous man.
No worries.
Generous to a fault. He's sharpening up our knives and giving us free stuff. Yearshop.co.nz, $49 for one smart sharpener. If you're smart, you get two, $73.50. I've got a challenge for you. You ready, Shane?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, you said this will sharpen anything. So, will it sharpen a card, and will you be able to cut a cucumber with something like an FPOS card or a bus card?
Okay, this is your credit card?
Yeah, well, there's not much money on it, mate.
Okay, so a credit card isn't going to cut a cucumber, obviously.
Oh, yeah, no, you're not having much luck there.
Same thing, we'll just treat it like a knife. We'll just sharpen across the top. You can hear it working.
Okay, it does sharpen everything. No way.
There we go. Try it.
Okay, cool. Oh my goodness. Okay, sweet. Okay, you've proven
Sharpens.
the point.
If it cuts, it sharpens.
If it cuts,
We
it
can sharpen
sharpens. That is great. And we've learned a lot about different angles of blades. Chopping and slicing, it's all very different. And they make knives with different angle blades to achieve that. If you don't sharpen them the right way, you'll end up ruining the knife. What about bread knives? I struggle with bread, Shane. What happens is I end up squashing the bread all over the place. So I've got some bread. We've got a serrated knife here. Want you to sharpen that up.
Okay, exact same thing, Mike. Grab that off you. You lay it flat. Now, you can hear it moving in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
so they're going to mould to the shape of the serration. So they're going to go with the serration. So all other sharpeners will just flatten your serrations down and wreck your knife. But watch this. Just run it across twice again. You can see it moving to go with the serrations. It's not flattening them down.
Nice.
Finally, you can sharpen a serrated knife.
Yeah, you're right. Serrated knives have always been a pain to sharpen. In fact, we've probably never sharpened them at home. And you end up squashing that nice fresh bread that you've made, and you can't use it. With your smart sharpener, you've just seen it. It does serrated knives. Big knives, small knives, vegetable knives. It does so much. $49 here at Yearshop, or if you want, you can get two. We'll give you the second one for half price, only $73.50. Now, what else can it do? Well, you won't believe this, but it can sharpen everything. As Shane said, we've got the knives. Now let's try it on those little things like potato peelers. Can it sharpen a potato peeler?
Mike, we've got the little mini-sharpener in the handle.
Okay.
Which just comes out. Now this is to do all the blades that the smart sharpener can't get to normally. So your graters, your peelers.
It will sharpen it.
It will sharpen it. So your potato peeler, this is quite a blunt one.
Right. Yeah, that would be tiresome in the kitchen using that.
So the mini sharpener, we just run the tungsten carbide blade along.
Yep.
Inside the potato peeler.
Okay, well that seems pretty easy to use.
It's the same if you're using a grater or any sort of peeler. You just run the blade along.
This is amazing. Okay, sweet. So you're not wasting money by having to throw out things like potato peelers. You just sharpen them up. And when you've got one tool that does it, it's going to make life so much easier. It's that tungsten carbide.
Tungsten carbide, what it is? Tungsten carbide is the second hardest substance on Earth, so only behind diamonds.
So that's going to get into all those little places like your cheese graters, like your can openers, like your toenail clippers. How many people have ever sharpened your toenail clippers? And I can imagine that yours goes flat. I can imagine the state of your feet, Shane. So you need some hardy toenail clippers. Right, now... Okay.
We'll sharpen these.
Yeah, tell everyone at home how you do it. This is a good tip.
Yeah, we pinch them together because the blades have got to be touching, otherwise you'll change the angle where they meet. Mm-hmm. And just same thing again, your little mini sharpener, just run it across.
Okay, cool.
Always pulling towards yourself.
Great, easy to use.
Turn it around.
There you go, done.
Sharpen your toenail clippers.
And there you go. That'll save you from having to go and buy another pair. Look, we are saving you money. We are making your life easy. This is the first time the smart sharpener has been seen in New Zealand. And for those of you lucky enough to be watching Yearshop, you should be the first in the country to get it. So just go to yearshop.co.nz or give us a call 0800 55 2233. The smart sharpener will sharpen anything that has a blade, whether it's the lawnmower in the shed, whether it is the garden instruments that are going blunt. The smart smart sharpener can do it. You've seen it work on knives, on toenail clippers, on a credit card. Let's have a look at, say, your garden shears. How would you be able to sharpen them up? Because they go blunt quite fast, and everybody loves to get out in the garden and have good instruments.
So your garden shears, they're just like your scissors. We can show you that in a minute. You only want to sharpen one side. The other side has to stay flat, obviously, because they have to meet together. So, pass me that, Mike. We have a different side here. You can see the label on it, Mike.
Right, okay, cool.
The scissors side,
yep.
So it's only going to sharpen one side. So we just lay it down. Same thing, pull it across. You can hear it working. 2 times. We also have a little extra tungsten carbide blade here to get rid of any burrs.
Okay.
Any little nicks in the middle that you might have got from hitting a bit of wire or something.
Thanks for explaining that.
All right, and you just run it across. That'll straighten those out.
Nice work.
And that's sharp. You can cut
Oh, yeah.
potatoes, anything.
That is impressive. So there you go. Whatever you need sharpened at home, you can sharpen it. From the garden shed to the kitchen. Knives in particular, they all come with different angled blades. You don't want to get that wrong. You don't want to ruin those blades. The Smart Sharpener has patented technology. It's all to do with those little sharpeners that adjust every time you use a different type of knife. And that technology really does make it so much easier. Look, it's safe to use. It's easy to use. And it comes with a 10-year warranty. You have got absolutely nothing to lose here at Yes Shop. Scissors, let's have a go with them. We've got them in front of us. Let's have a go. Shane?
Same as the shears, Mike. We use the scissor side.
Yep. Remember, it's got little diagrams so you can see which side you've got to use.
Place it down. Draw it twice. Sometimes you might have glue or something on the blade from using it for craft. You can rub those off with the extra tungsten carbide. Have a feel.
There you go. So this is, oh yeah, no, that is sharp.
So scissors, pizza cutters, axes, any
Wow.
blade. If it's got a blade, we can sharpen it.
That's it. Pretty much at the end of the day, that is it. If it's got a blade, we can sharpen it. Yes Shop is very proud to bring you the very first look at the Smart Sharpener. And if you are smart, you will get your sharpener through us. Only $49 for one. $73.50 for 2. I would get 2 if I was you. Keep one in the kitchen and then you can keep one in the garden shed. Sharpen up everything around the house. It is a first here in New Zealand, the first time you've seen it. So go to yesshop.co.nz. Shane, thank you so much for taking us through everything that the Smart Sharpener can do. And whilst doing this segment, I realised something. Because I think you're a man that likes to keep things simple and easy, aren't you?
I'm pretty simple.
Yeah, and that's why you like the Smart Sharpener. And that's why you're going to like it as well. Because if it's simple, it's easy to use, and it does the job, then that's the sort of product you want in your life. Yesshop.co.nz for the Smart Sharpener. Shane, thank you so much. In fact, I think we might go back and cut some bread and have a bit of fun, shall we? Carry on. Yeah, so dinner ready for the crew, perhaps. Yes Shop.
For everyday life.
Wouldn't it be nice if you can sharpen absolutely any blade in your home a simple and easy and effective way? Well, now you can. This is a New Zealand first. The first time you are seeing it. Welcome to the Smart Sharpener. This device will sharpen any blade in your house, and it does so much more. And with me from Smart Sharpener is Shane. It's great to have you here at Yes Shop. First time Kiwis are seeing how this works, so how does it work?
It's really safe and easy to use, Mike. With all other sharpeners, blades have been waved in the air, you're trying to use them on steel. Do you know how to use a steel?
Well, I look at the steel in the kitchen, I have no idea how to use it.
Exactly, so, and it can be quite dangerous. So the Smart Sharpener makes it safe and makes it easy. So you just put a blade down, so it stays flat, the blade doesn't move.
So that's going to keep it nice and safe, isn't it?
Exactly, keeps it safe. The Smart Sharpener goes on top, and you just pull it across, always pulling it 2 times.
And that is going to get that knife sharp. That looks pretty easy. Look at that. So I didn't realise, Shane, that there were different angles on different blades, and probably you at home didn't realise this as well, that when you sharpen things, you've got to make sure you're doing it right, and you can get it wrong. The Smart Sharpener, it's very smart because it takes all that guesswork away from you. How exactly does that work?
Well, as you said, Mike, every blade has got a different angle. So you've got thin blades for delicate knives, you've got chunky blades for chopping knives, and all other sharpeners are set on a fixed angle, which means they're going to grind that blade down to whatever that angle is, normally around 22 degrees.
So if you don't know what you're doing with a steel or a sharpener, you can ruin your knife.
You're going to damage your blade. So how it works is the Smart Sharpener has an automatically adjusting mechanism on it, which as soon as you put it down on the blade, it'll self-adjust to whatever angle your blade is. So even a thin knife, for example, you just put it on top.
Right.
Once again, it'll automatically adjust to that blade.
Yep.
And just draw it.
It doesn't look like you're putting much pressure on that.
I'm not, Mike.
Pretty easy to use.
Just the weight of your hand is all you need. So this big fat knife here, obviously it's going to have a much thicker blade.
Right.
This will adjust to that blade. Just the weight of my hand, pull it towards me, it's going to adjust to that blade and keep it exactly how the manufacturer's made it.
Now, this is the only sharpener that actually does that. It's the only sharpener that adjusts to those angles, and that's really, really important. Look, it's very, very small mechanism in here, but it's very, very clever, because what that's going to do is make your knives last longer, make everything nice and sharp, and to be honest, it looks pretty simple. They call it the Smart Sharpener because it does all the thinking for you, which is perfect for people like me who have no idea, Shane.
Even you could use this, Mike.
Well, I'm going to give it a go, okay? Even I can use it. I know that your wife loves using this as well because she does obviously a lot of the cooking at home.
And 100% of it.
And most people, they really like a sharp knife. It just makes life so much easier. Yep. So place the knife down.
That's right. Now you're going to have a look here, Mike. It'll tell you whether you use the knife or the scissors side. So there's your little knife picture there.
So that's easy to recognise. Yep. So I've got the right side. A nice firm grip, and then of course I don't have to
of your hand,
press down or anything.
No, and just pull it towards you.
Oh yeah, that is easy, and I can hear it.
And that's sharpening that blade at the exact right angle that it was manufactured at.
Right, because I didn't know you could get that wrong. So now I've sharpened up that little knife. I'm going to see if I can slice a tomato, and I'm useless at slicing tomatoes because I usually squeeze everything out of them. So, actually, this is probably the thinnest I've ever cut a tomato. Mate, if I can work this and it sharpens knives to cut like that, impressive, New Zealand. It is your first look at the Smart Sharpener. It does so much more, and we're going to take you through that if you've just joined us. But if you would like one of these, introductory offer for you, okay? This is what we're going to do. One Smart Sharpener. Remember, it sharpens any blade. It'll only cost you $49. Now, if you're good, you get 2. And because you'll probably get 2, we'll give it to you for half price, the second one. So that means $73.50. But Shane, he's a good man, Shane. He's looking after us here at your shop. Thank you, Shane. You've got this knife here too, haven't you? Which we're going to give away for free. Now, this beautiful knife is going to be great during summer, great during winter. It's going to be great for all those fruits that you've got. And because it's got a little protective case on it, means you can take it with you. So, you know, if you want to slice up things at work, this will be the perfect knife. It is yours, absolutely free. Go to yesshop.co.nz, or you can, if you want, give us a call, 0800 55 2233. They say that the Smart Sharpener sharpens everything. So, what about a ruler? Can you sharpen and cut with the ruler, Shane? There's a little challenge for you.
All right.
You ready?
I do. Now, don't do this to your kid's ruler at home.
Yeah, okay.
If somebody's doing his homework, he's going to lose a finger. I'll just sharpen it like a knife, put it on top, run it across. Now, you think you'll never cut a cucumber with a
Well, no,
ruler?
I don't believe you can.
It's like a knife through the blue.
So it really does sharpen everything.
Sharpens anything.
And again, you know, the reason that rule is sharp is because it's got different angles on it as well. And that smart sharpener is adjusting to its angles to make it nice and sharp. You know, a lot of people at home have those sharpeners where they shove knives in, you know, they've probably been around for years. You don't really know what's inside them. Probably lost the original knife that came with it. That's probably not a good idea, is it?
If it's not the original knife that goes into that sharpener that it was designed for, then it's going to damage that blade.
Right.
It's going to sharpen it at the wrong angle and damage it.
Right, so this is what you need. You need the smart sharpener. It does all the thinking for you. Okay, cool. Pumpkin. Let's have a go with the pumpkin, because that is always a Kiwi classic that people hate to work with because it is so hard to slice. So you've got a knife and you want to sharpen it up. You want to get it nice and pristine
So
for your pumpkin.
my wife is always asking me to cut the pumpkin for her, so when there's footy on, she's still asking for the pumpkin to be cut. So. Same thing, you just put it on the knife.
Yeah.
The knife side goes on the knife. Drag it across.
Okay, here we go. Pumpkin cutting time. Oh, yeah, easy.
Making it easy.
You made that look easy. That means you're going to get back to your footy a lot faster, aren't you?
That's true. It's important.
And a happy wife is a good life, they say. Right, so we've done so much chopping here. I just want to show you exactly what you're going to get today here at Your Shop. One smart sharpener, only $49. Get two, we'll give you the other one for half price, making it $73.50. It's the first time New Zealand has seen these, so if you want to get your hands on it, you better go quick. Go to yourshop.co.nz. Okay, so much more to show you with the smart sharpener. Potato peelers. I didn't know you could do this, but you can sharpen a potato peeler with your smart sharpener. So I've got a potato peeler here, and it's probably a little blunt, and that's going to mean more time in the kitchen for me, which I don't like.
It is.
So you've got this, and look, you see, because I'm scraping the skin off.
Potato,
I am. It's like doing new potatoes and taking 7 hours to do it. So sharpen that up for me and show me how we can do that, Shane. That would be great.
With the smart sharpener, we've got the free, and the handle is the MiniSharpener.
Right.
So this is for all the blades that the smart sharpener can't get to. All the little difficult blades, potato peelers, cheese graters, your clippers, your nails, anything like that. So you just manually get the MiniSharpener in, run it along the blade.
Yep.
Same thing, 2-3 times.
Here we go.
Kill your potato.
Okay, cool. Oh, mate, that is a huge difference.
So that'll do your graters.
Oh, God, I can go super
sharpen
fast.
your pliers.
Just about do the whole potato. Look, that is incredible. Well, that is something you can do with your smart sharpener. And it's that tiny little blade that you can use here, the tungsten carbide blade. Now, that's really strong, and it really gets into those little things that cut, like cheese graters, toenail clippers, your can opener. There is so much more that this can do. Look, it is so good to be able to show you something new. And it's just so easy. When I first seen this, I thought, oh yeah, it's a sharpener that sharpens. But the more you learn about it, the more you realise it's really going to change your life. So I think we should have a look at the shears now, because garden sheds, always full of stuff. Can this do, before we get onto the shears, can this do, say, your lawnmower blades?
It can do, if it cuts, it'll sharpen it. So lawnmower blades, anything in the shed, anything in the kitchen, it'll sharpen.
Okay, and I've seen you work those shears before, and this is good. You should watch this, because Shane will show us how you can hold them and how you can sharpen them. So again, it's all about different blades and different angles, isn't it?
It is. Well, obviously, this isn't like a knife. It's got a flat edge on it.
Yep.
It's just like your scissors. You only want to sharpen one side. Otherwise, they're not going to meet in the middle, and it's not going to cut. So on the smart sharpener, we have a scissor side as well for people like you, Mike.
Right.
Make it really, really easy.
Diagrams, yeah,
It's only going to sharpen one side. So we put it on, always pulling towards us.
Right, well, I can see that working, actually. I can see why that works.
Sometimes we might have little burrs or nicks taken out from hitting wire or something. We've got a little tungsten carbide blade here, so we can run it across, straighten those out. Feel how sharp that is, Mike.
Okay, cool. So this is... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's sharp. That is sharp, folks. That is sharp. Just going to take my hands away. Just probably too sharp. So you can do axes, you can do anything that you have that has got a blade. If it cuts, we can sharpen it with the Smart Sharpener. You got your secateurs, you've got toenail clippers, pizza cutters. It is just so easy to use, and Shane has shown us how easy it is to use. Now, if you want to get your hands on it, first time in New Zealand, go on, make your life easier. The Smart Sharpener, $49 for one. Or if you want to, we'll give you the second one for half price, meaning $73.50 in total for two. That would be the ideal situation. Keep one in the kitchen, keep one in the garden shed. As you said, what's she saying? If it's got a blade, we can sharpen it?
If it's got a blade, it'll sharpen it.
If it's got a blade, it'll sharpen it. The one sharpener everybody needs in New Zealand, and it's the first time you've seen it. So go to yesshop.co.nz or 0800 552233. Shane, thank you so much for showing all of this, and thank you so much for not sharpening me up too much with all that cutting that we've been doing. You're a good man, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.